Hi, guys. Welcome to another Mother Daughter Moment. I am your host, Alexis Robinson, and tonight I am here with the gorgeous Camille Elizabeth. Now, for those of you who do not know, Camille is a published creator director and wardrobe stylist, and she's a total sweetheart, guys. So, everybody say, "Hey, Camille."
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much
Hi.
for having me, Alexis.
Of course. I'm so happy you could join us. Like, seriously, we're super excited to have you. This is going to be so much fun.
I'm excited to be here.
All right. So today we're going to talk about some summer style do's and don'ts. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
So I am from Manassas, Virginia, which is part of Northern Virginia. For those of you who aren't familiar, DC, Maryland, and Northern Virginia are kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So very close to DC. So I kind of just consider the DMV my hometown.
Okay. Okay. You are not too far. Now, are you still in the DMV?
I am. I just live in Maryland now. So I'm
Okay.
outside of Gaithersburg in Maryland now.
So, did you always want to be a stylist? Did you grow up dressing up all your dolls? Like, how did you get into this industry?
So it's actually kind of a crazy story. I am not one of those people that grew up knowing what I wanted to do. I was always really creative with things, but it didn't occur to me until even after I graduated from college. And I think when it started to click was I moved in with a roommate and we were sharing a one-bedroom apartment, those money, and we didn't have a lot of money, and we were, working at entry-level jobs. So we
Right.
would share clothes, and one of the first things I noticed when I started working was just how boring and streamlined workwear was. And I was like, there's got to be a way to make it more exciting and more fabulous. And if you make things more fabulous, I felt like I'd be more in the mood every day to go to work. Like I'd be really happy to do
Right.
it. I'd like what I was wearing and I'd be feeling good. So I started to shop my own closet and shop her closet. And we would put together outfits. And that's when it really clicked for me. Like, I really love this and I'm good at it. And when I was showing up to work in these really colorful, not brown, not gray, not blue outfits,
Blue, gray, and black.
with a lot of buzz and vibrant and happy. And I was like, it all starts with what you put on your body and what you're wearing. So that's where it kind of got started for me.
I love that. I think that message is so important because a lot of us are told, oh, yeah, when you graduate from high school, you should kind of have an idea what you want to major in college and you should follow this path. But the truth is, that's not it for everybody.
Things too, they're like, okay, I knew I wanted to design or I knew I wanted to style. So I went to FIT or I went to FITM or
Right.
Parsons. And by the time I sort of knew what I wanted to do, not that it was too late for me to go to school, but I was like, there's more than one way to get to this
Right.
destination. And I don't need to follow the same kind of path. And I think you're absolutely right. It's almost dangerous to tell people that they have to go one way in order to be successful. You might find yourself when you're 25 or 35 or 18. It just depends on the person and your life experiences.
Right. Right. Everybody's path is different and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, do you remember your first gig as a stylist?
Yes, I do. Oh my gosh. That's kind of a multi-part question too, because I feel like I experimented with so many things before I was like, let me just take the reins and make this my own.
Okay.
I styled as an independent consultant for a retailer before, and I did it and I loved it for a while. And then I was like, this is sort of limiting. I really want to do like whatever I want to do. And then I started playing around with my own, photo shoots, and I had photographer friends, and I just
Nice.
started experimenting and posting things on social media, which is a great vehicle for getting your craft out there for people to.
Right.
And then I got contacted by other photographers and other creatives, and they were like, "We would love to work with you." So I would say my official first gig, though, as like an independent entrepreneur, I did a shoot in conjunction with a good makeup artist for Shapewear, and then did an editorial called 50 Shades Purple, which was pretty eccentric and got me way outside of my comfort zone. But it was all through the power of networking and just people noticing what I was interested in and saying, hey, would you want to, get together and do something? And those were, I think those two gigs were kind of around the same time. So one was more with hair and me just kind of dressing people. And then the 50 Shades of Purple was the creative director had a very, it was a very Disney-like mythical fantasy vision for a photo shoot. And
wow.
Yeah, so he was like, we're gonna do purple hair and purple clothes and purple makeup. And I was like, you know what? Like, it's your story and I'm just here to create the picture. So it was a lot of fun ultimately.
That's awesome. Also speaks to like the power of your yes. You had all these people calling you and saying, hey, have you considered this? Would you do this? And it sounds like you were like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, there were things I didn't even know I would love doing or being comfortable doing until, I considered someone saying, why don't you come here and let's shoot here, let's shoot this. And I know this idea is kind of crazy and we're working for someone who's a little eccentric, but just try it and see what happens. There's really no failing and trying because you might discover something that adds to your passion. You might be like, I'm really good at this now, and I really like to incorporate this part of it. So it's all learning.
Oh my gosh, I love that. There's really no failing in trying.
Yeah.
Because you could learn something. I love that. Yes, Camille.
I need to become an inspirational speaker.
Yes, come on. That's the next thing you should say yes to.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a scenario. It's actually a real life situation for most of us. We have been safer at home for months, right? And we need to start preparing to put on bras. Like, we need to go ahead and put on clothes and look presentable as we venture to the great hot outdoors, okay?
Yeah.
So could you give us a few tips on how to spice up our wardrobe for the summer?
Okay, absolutely. This is my favorite part. I have been dressing up at home, so just to make sure I don't lose the juice, I have to gotta keep my magic touch, But there's a few things I think that everyone can do. There's always staples that you see for summer, like straw hats, Bermuda shorts, swim cover-ups, like those things were gonna stay around forever.
Okay.
So if you have those things, you're good to go. If you need a new one, go ahead and get something in a color that you like. But I think some of the best things that you can get for this season are a really nice white dress or white top. Those peasant tops or those peasant dresses that have a little bit of ruffles or lace. Yes. Those are really great for this summer. And I think it adds like an air of like freshness. So you might look like you're not as hot as you are. So definitely that. Animal print is coming back, not for actual clothing, but for shoes. So if you like leopard print, it's a really great time to buy like some leopard print shoes. Zebra print for sure. It depends on what your vibe is. I usually trend toward cheetah or leopard, but sandals, little black heels, things like that are really good. Square-toed heels are a big thing too. So you could even combine those things. You could buy, you could find some cheetah or leopard print black heels. And they don't have to be high. We're starting to come back into that era where we don't have to be wearing, 5 or 6 inch heels. And it's more about comfort. So I would advise doing like a 2 or 3 inch heel, something that you can stand around in for a while.
Okay.
Of course, linen is always a plus if you can find linen shorts, especially the tie shorts that you're seeing a lot of now. Those are a great for summer. Neon colors are a big deal for summer. That's my favorite. I think I probably had neon colors in my wardrobe since I was conceived. Color is my favorite, but if you're not so much a color person, maybe pick something that is a derivative of your favorite color. So if it's green, bright green, or pink, bright pink, or like a mango tone, something like that. That always looks really good for summer. And then lastly, I would say a bright floral. And I'm going to be real careful when I say that because some people overdo florals. But I think if you find something that's not like too packed graphically, and you
Okay.
just have, it's not so dense, but you just have a few flowers, and it looks really classy and like well done. The best way I gauge my florals is if it looks like a painting to me, then it's good. But if it looks like someone like stamped a flower on a shirt over and over again, I'm like, all right, that's too much. So those are some things that I would recommend that will make you feel, brighter, happier, even if you are not out of quarantine before the end of summer.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Now, what are the biggest fashion gimps for the summer?
Okay, so I had been really paying attention to trends and things like that, and I love my tie-dye. The tie-dye is out for this summer.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
it is out for this summer. So I don't think anybody would judge you, but if you want to be correct, fashionably correct, save the tie-dye for at home when you're lounging around, whatever. Velvet is a big no-no for summer. You would think that would be self-explanatory because velvet is hot, but people surprise me all the time. So no velvet. Don't do it. Save it for fall. All right.
Okay.
There's two other things I want to add. I know you said, maybe 3 or 4 topics, but there's 2 things I want to add. Graphic tees are a big deal right now, but you can overdo logos. You can overdo graphics.
Yeah.
And so don't overdo your graphics. Like don't have like a statement jacket and a statement t-shirt and stuff all over your pants. Make it like one piece of the graphic or one piece of the logo. Have you ever seen people on the runway, really only acceptable on the runway? But you ever see people who have Louis Vuitton everything? The hat, their shirt, their blazer, their pants, too much.
Yes.
When you want your logo to stick out, make it be like one centerpiece, centralized piece that you're wearing, like a shirt, and then center the rest of your outfit around that. Okay. Lastly, don't do too much denim. Denim on denim is a big no-no for summer. Also, it's hot. It's hot. And we love our cutoff, keep your cutoff shirts. I think those will be in style forever also. But just don't pack on like a denim tube top or a denim tank top on top of that with denim shoes. I'm sure you guys have seen pictures of these. It can be a little tragic, but that's a big no-no as well.
You said too much denim and too many prints.
Too many logos.
Tie-dye for home.
Yeah, and I think maybe the general theme here is minimalism. Like doing things that are a minimalist and in a classy way. So it doesn't mean drop your graphics or drop your logos. We all love our logos. We pay a lot of money for them, but just make sure that they're more so the focal point of what you're wearing, not so much everywhere.
Okay. Now you already gave us a few tips that are kind of already in our wardrobe. Are there any like we must do this summer to stay trendy and fresh?
Yes. So I would have never thought about this before getting into my 30s, but I think there's one big thing that can transform, one, how you feel about what you're wearing, and 2, the fit, and it is shapewear. So I am not a fan of telling women to wear shapewear for, figure purposes, but it is absolutely helpful to have some form of shapewear underneath dresses to avoid, friction between your thighs, to avoid sweat buildup. That stuff, shapewear is so helpful for that, especially if you're walking around outside and have a sundress on. You can always slip on some of those, slimming shorts or something like that, and it will make wearing that dress for a long period of time much more comfortable. So I definitely, shapewear is a big thing, not because y'all don't look beautiful and you don't already have shape, but because it will help you wear your clothes more comfortably when you're outside or doing things for a long period of time. So that is definitely one.
Coming through. She said these thighs are rubbing together. Put on these little shorts, you'll be all right.
Put on some little shorts, you will be fine. Because I think that's a big problem I've noticed, especially if you're commuting in the DMV, you know, you're
Right.
riding the train, you're outside, you are going to have periods of time where you're not air conditioned and you're not
Yeah.
comfortable. So I especially find that even when I'm wearing like pencil dresses, sundresses, things like that, walking to and from the metro, going out to happy hour after, my thighs are gonna rub together. I'm gonna be sweaty. I'm gonna be a hot mess by the end of the day. And it just helps to have something, a padding there to keep
Okay.
your legs comfortable. So that's a huge thing.
Yes, that's good. And no sweat spots on your dress, ladies. Like she's
Yes.
helping us out.
Yes. And the good thing is you can buy shapewear based on whatever your preference is. You know, if you just want to wear shorts and that's, you know, comfortable for you, that's usually what I do. And you know, that's your jam, that's cool. But if you want more support and you want to wear something like a bodysuit under because you sweat or you need, you know, breast support, then do that too. It's whatever your preference is.
That's awesome. Okay. Anything else?
Let's see, what else would I recommend? Some of my styling must-haves. I usually answer questions about things that are like, how can I look put together really quick?
Okay.
You know, like if I don't have a lot of time and I want to look like I put some effort in. So a few things I would recommend are obviously you want to have a little black dress. Always have a little black dress.
Yes.
I think there is no stylist in the world that wouldn't tell you to keep, you know, one or two of those pieces in the closet. Something that you love, something that you know you'll wear.
Right.
So I always have that. I always recommend wearing a watch. I always think that a watch makes you look sophisticated and put together for some reason. It's just my thing, but I usually do that. And I tell my girls when I'm at shoot to wear watches too and all of their shoots. So that's one thing. Slap on a watch, a little black dress. If you have pastels, that's always great too, like a bright mint or a bright pink. You can always pair that with denim or white shorts. Like you want to have a few staple things like that that you can mix and match. That way, when it's time to get dressed, you're like, all right, I know that like pink goes with white. I can wear those with my leopard sandals, my
Yes.
and a watch.
You just gave us a whole outfit.
Yeah.
I love it. That is perfect, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, I am not gonna hold you too long, but before you go, there's a little game we like to play that's called Mom Said. Right? That we have a few sayings, or our moms always have a few sayings that they love to say, some random, some timely, some a little bit shady, if I'm honest. We all know them. So I'm going to give you a word, and then you'll tell me what your mom used to say or what your mother figure would say, okay?
Okay.
So I have an example for you. So if I had the word bust, my mom would say, no bust before dust. No. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's see. Your first word is makeup.
Makeup. Okay. So she would always say she was never big on makeup and all she needed was lipstick. Like for her, all she needed was lipstick. She was like, I don't get makeup. All I need is a little lipstick.
I love that. I don't get makeup. What is?
Yeah, which is so funny because I ended up being so into makeup. And she was like, I have no idea where you got that from because I don't know what I'm doing. I just put on some lipstick.
Oh man, that's cute. What about fashion?
Fashion. She would always talk about shoes when she talked about fashion. My mom was a big shoes person. And I think that she felt like shoes made the best statement. So whenever we go shopping or something, she'd be like, you know, all I need is a really good pair of shoes. You know, all I need is that. Like, she never worried too much about the rest of the outfit. She's a shoe lover.
But sometimes all you do need is a good pair of shoes.
I know. I started to understand this as I got older. I was like, I don't understand what the obsession is with women and shoes. And then, you know, I grew up and I got it. It happened for me and I understood.
Yes. Okay. What about, okay, style?
Style. She used to repeat, I think there's a quote that says this, I might butcher it, but she used to say that fashion was short-lived, but style was forever. Yes. So if you were a person and you know you didn't want to follow trends, but you still had your own sense of style. She felt like that was more long lasting.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Follow your own style.
I agree with her. And I'm pretty sure like Marc Jacobs has a quote about that or something.
I am going to look it up. I'm going to look it up because that's awesome. I like that. Okay. What about skirts? What you say? About skirts? Yes.
So my mom would tell me all the time, you need to wear a pencil skirt. Pencil skirts are so good and flattering for your waistline and your butt. She swore that like that was the best kind of thing you could wear to show off the figure.
Oh, so cute.
Like whenever I was like, Mom, what should I wear for this concert or the thing? She's like, wear a pencil skirt. But you know, of course now that's more like a mini skirt. We don't really wear a pencil skirt unless it's for work. But she was onto something because that A-line will really give you a good shape for sure.
Yes, it will. I love it. Okay, last one. What would she say about size?
Size. She, from the time I was little, she always thought I had chunky thighs. So she used to call them ham hocks and turkey legs. So, so whenever, you know, so that was like the code word. So whenever I was getting dressed, if she felt like they were showing too much, she'd be like, your turkey legs are showing. Or ham hocks are showing. You're showing too much ham hock. And people would sometimes be around and I'd be like, Mom, come on. Like now I gotta explain what ham hock is and that's not derogatory.
You're showing too much turkey leg. No, like if anybody were to hear that in the street, like, what in the world is she talking about?
And you would think saying that out loud, it doesn't even make sense to me now, but that was her word for it.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the tips. I'm sure all of us are going to use them. I am definitely getting some zebra shoes because I already have leopard.
You're most welcome.
Everyone know where you are, where they can find your stuff, how they can connect. Give us all the information.
Okay, so on Instagram, I am Styling by Camille. My website is stylingbycamille.com. Pretty consistent theme here. And then you can find me on Facebook, Styling by Camille as well. And then my email address is stylingbycamille@gmail.com. So you can message me on any of those platforms.
Awesome. Hey guys, make sure you hit her up. Let her know what you need, and I know she will help you. All right?
Absolutely.
All right. I will see you next week, same time, guys. Have a good night.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.